What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So at the start of September, I made a video called My Gear, Goals, and Progression. I'll leave a link in the description to watch that video if you're curious. But basically, from the start of September till now, which is basically the end of September, I wanted to basically show you guys what kind of progress I made on my account. And yeah, so first of all, before I show you anything, these screenshots were from the video. You can watch it yourself too. This is the gear I was at the start of the month, and looking back at that, I'm just like, wow, nothing much really changed. And then one of the biggest goals that I had for September was actually finishing all the life skill crystals. So basically, you know, with Adania, they came out with the new crystals, as you guys can see. They added the ones at the bottom, which are the new mastery, and I'll show all of it to you. But this is what we started with at the beginning of the month, and here we are now. This is my gear. We actually grinded out a lot of the artifacts, the lightstone upgrades, and some of the progress we made is we actually hit one of the two deck earrings the other day. That went on 24. And I thought I was going to pity it. So it was above average, as in, like, on average, it takes me about 20 attempts on the fail stack I use, which is like mid 320. And then, so yeah, I went a little bit above the average, which I would say about like 250 billion for one AP. That's kind of insane. New players in shambles. And then we hit our Oct, which was, that was in the mid 40s. So, you know, it's not the greatest, not the worst. Like, my RNG across the board is either average or worse than that. Rarely do I have good luck. But one thing we actually finished pretty early on was upgrading all of the life skill crystals that we had our goal on. And I'm glad I started that at the beginning of the month, because getting these requires a lot of the Rusalka's cores. This is actually the easy part. I made a video on how to get all of that, so I'll leave a link in the description if you're thinking about upgrading all your crystals as well. So the Rusalka corals wasn't that bad, like a couple hours of grinding. The sharps, if you're a life skiller, you probably have thousands of them. Magical shards, I made a video of that the other day on the best ways to get them. And yeah, like when I got it at the start of the month, it wasn't too bad to putting an order on, and even now it's not that bad. So like, let's say you're going for the sealed black magic crystals. There's 135,000 on like order right now, which is, it looks like a lot, but if you put like an order for like 1,000 of them, it'll probably fill in a couple of days, which I talked about that in the other video of the best ways to get as many magical shards as you can. Basically just put an order on this and the various do the events, and then turn in for magical shards, and then seals of this, and then what was the other one? Imperial alchemy. But anyway, we'll talk about that in more detail. What I really wanted to show you today, besides our upgrades, was it's Saturday, and you know what that means? Boss rewards finally came in, and I want every week the amount of silver you make out of this is going down because people are finishing their accessories, so less people need the Essence of Dawn. And then just like every day that exists, the Ebereka prices are going down. With the free Dawn thingy, like the free Fallen God, these are lower. All the crystals are at min price now, at least here on NA. So yeah, we're gonna open it and let's just see what we get out of it. So I think the most valuable thing these days is the light stones, because you need these for endgame stuff like artifact. Well, I don't remember like which ones exactly, but you need everything for endgame players for all of this stuff, like upgrading the heralds, crystallized end times for all of these, and then just upgrading everything. But yeah, endgame problems. If you're a mid-tier or a beginner, don't even worry about it. All right, let's open these up. We did Calamity 8, 9, 10 Sangoon, and 9, 10 Golden Pig. Oh boy, cheering for double crystals that are min price and won't sell. Very cool. At least the thing that we go for, sealed black magic crystals, Essence of Dawn, which is guaranteed, and of course it gives you the guaranteed gold bars, always nice. Let's open the 9-1. Dang, we didn't even cheer for that one. We got a Trace of Thunderbolt, though. One day I'll get my Voltarian horse. One day. Didn't even cheer for that. I think at Calamity 9, you can get between 8 to 9 Essence of Dawns guaranteed. And then 8s are like 5 or 6, depending where you place on the leaderboards. But ultimately, what matters is gold bars and everything. It's always nice to get as well. So, Calamity 10s. These are guaranteed a Trace of Thunderbolt and between 14 to 15 Essence of Dawn each, and then other goodies. Didn't even cheer. But at least we're getting sealed black magic crystals. That should reduce the number of orders, at least here on the NA server, which is always good. Holy, we only had one cheer, and that was on the C8 one. That's wild. So doing all 5 of them, even if you can only do 8s, and you're not like geared enough for 10s or anything, guaranteed to get the gold bars. That's, you know, a free billion silver plus whatever you get. All right, main attraction. We did all of these on hard this week, and Bulgasil. These are nice, guaranteed gold bars every time. If you know what to do with the coins, what I turned them into is I turn them into these miraculous herbal medicines. I also do life skilling, but if you don't do life skilling, you could just turn it into literally anything else. I'd recommend trying out life skills, especially if you have like tens of thousands of these, because that's actually low-key a lot of silver. All right, so next, Uturi. 2 accessories. Very cool. I'm actually like more happy with these resplendent lightstone thingies, just because I could either turn them into, I could sell it, or I could turn it into those fragment thingies, which is always nice. Jigwe. Didn't cheer. Long Wang. Ooh, only 1. Remember when Girins were 5 billion each like 2 years ago? And people were panic buying them, and now they sit at minimum price, and there's like, what, 3,000 of them just sitting? Yeah, good times. All right, final boss, Be Young. This one is actually a unique one, so if you don't do this boss, I would recommend doing it. Oh, dang, a triple. But none of them were... Okay, so the reason why is this one gives these charm thingies, you turn them into fail stacks, and chances are you're getting to 90 or 100, but like it's not too bad. All right, so what did we obtain today? We got 3 belts. I believe this one is actually the better one over the Taybeck that I see a lot of Siege players using, because there always has to be one person running support. So I think, wait, this is the Black Spirit Rage for yourself, right? Oh, yeah, never mind. This is the self one. The Taybeck spell is the group one. All right, so we got the Azadal necklace. What does this one do? Recovers HP. Irrelevant. All right, so to see, these are about 400 mil each, maybe less. Deboreka necklaces are like at the all-time low, and they only get worse every week. Earrings are okay-ish. You can get about 500 each, and then belts are... belts are okay, so that's like 1.5, 2.3, 2.9, just about 3 billion silver for all of these accessories. 3 billion plus another... Let me actually just pull out the calculator. That's probably a lot better. Okay, so we're starting at 3 billion plus, let's see, 80 mil times 50. It's about 4 billion, more or less. That's 7 billion off of that one. And then this is, I think, 3 point... Let me just I'll just literally math it right now. 3.5. And then I guess it depends. Do you get anything good out of all of these? Like another 500, so that's like 11. Yeah, I would say this week we hit about 11 billion, give or take. And then let's open these. Let's see if we got anything good. Do we cheer? What is this one? Oh, mind. Isn't the mind one used for like siege stuff? Like you take less siege damage or something? Either way, all the things are like at an all-time high right now because endgame players need it. All right, main attraction, Firestones. What do we want? Strike Crystal, Twisted, which is Adania damage. Those are still maxed out, I believe. Let me see. Oh, actually, let me just look over here. Yep, Twisted is still on fat orders. I am so glad that I got mine. Well, I paid max price for it, so like I didn't get mine cheap, but I got mine. I just put an order on it a while ago. So yeah, triple amplified, and then yeah, to grind those out too. Actually, let me see. Are people selling these? Who sold an amplified for 3? Or who was the one that sold 3 of these for 1 bill each? Kind of questionable. All of us could look into that one. All right, main attraction. We want Strike, Twisted, and I guess anything else that's like 500 mil. Okay, we cheered. What did we cheer for? Aerial, 100 mil. And then another aerial. Dang, we got destroyed in artifacts that were light stones. But either way, even if I were to sell them, it's probably about like 11.5 billion silver from doing all the bosses. And as always, I like to talk about this. If you're at the point where you're thinking about trying these, here's what I'd recommend. If you can do Calamity 7s, or at least even 5s if you're not as... I guess the gear doesn't matter for solos up until 8, 9, and 10. But if you can't do 8, 9s, and 10s yet because you don't have the gear, the easiest ones I'd recommend are Sangoon, Bamboo Legion. I guess all the moon ones aren't too bad. Songashi is probably the hardest one of the moons. Golden Pig is the least annoying of the suns. Sangoon is easiest of the earth ones. And I would say earth ones are actually very mechanically intensive. Like Mugi has like 7 phases. Gumiho also has like 5 or 6 phases as well. Duoxini just kind of has a lot of movement. So yeah, if you're just starting out, I'd start with the moons, then the suns, and then earths. But ultimately, they're all pretty fun to learn. If you're doing party bosses, this one does require a little bit of gear on both hard and normal. Fulgasil, Jigui, Uchuri are the 3 that most people run in like party finders. So like without a random or like without a static group, those are the ones I'd recommend. If you do have a group that you run with, Bong Wang and Bi Young are a little bit more mechanically intensive. And then you need a good group to do Blue Clad and Prince is probably the hardest. Well, hardest as in people need gear. And then to be honest, I don't even know what the normal one is. Most of these, the difference between normal and hard is just more health, more damage. Mechanics, I think, are all the same, at least the ones I've done. So like I've never done Be Young on normal. I've only done it on hard. So I assume it's the same thing with just more health and things hurt more. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. What kind of gains have you guys made this month? Because for endgame players, me making 1 or 2 upgrades is actually insane. So like with the Dania, me getting amplified stuff and then having 5 out of 6 Hans is, you know, more upgrades than the usual, but we did it. Anyway, see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.